Oh, hi. Thanks for coming. Do whatever you want. Not too long ago, my cabin caught fire. It was pretty bad. I had to keep running to the nearest lake with buckets to try and keep the fire from spreading. It took hours. Uh, I lost part of my cabin. Later at the bar, I was telling a friend about this, and he's the sort of guy who relies a little too much on hindsight, and he said, "Oh, that's not what I would have done." So I asked him, I said, "What would you have done?" And he just shrugged. He had no idea what he was talking about. And this is a problem. I see it a lot of the time. People quick to complain, but they don't really offer any kind of alternative or solution. There's a big market for them on YouTube. You've probably noticed quite a few of them if you really think. They get people annoyed about stuff, but don't really have any kind of alternative to offer when asked. Now, why am I talking about log fires and my cabin burning down? I just want to show that I'm all about action. I'm the guy running to the lake with a bucket. I'm not one of these people who stands idly by and does nothing. It's very easy to talk. It's a lot harder to actually try and fix the issue at hand. So I want to talk about a few things that have been bothering me, and it sounds like they've been bothering a lot of other people. I've included links in the description so you can help out if you want. So let's get to it. Here are two things in particular that have been bothering me recently. Thing one. For those of you who don't know, virtue signaling is when someone does something good, but they're not doing these things because it's the right thing to do. No, they're doing them for attention and to show everyone around them that they're a good person. This is obviously completely morally repugnant. It's fraud, pure and simple. It's using someone else's suffering to boost your own social capital. Something needs to be done, so I have launched a petition directed to the president to get virtue signaling banned, making it a felony crime, punishable by death or something. Some of the worst virtue signalers are airlines and sports stadiums. They always offer preferential treatment to soldiers, disabled, kids, just random people trying to show off how cool and thoughtful they are. It's clearly virtue signaling. I would like to see all airlines and sports stadiums arrested and closed for all the virtue signaling they do on a daily basis. This also goes with diners and restaurants that offer senior discounts on special days. They're a bunch of virtue signaling soyboy cucks, and I hate that I can't get my 2 eggs and 1 bacon breakfast at 11 p.m., but somehow these seniors can get whatever they want 5 days a week. I want all restaurant owners arrested for fraud and virtue signaling. Every single one of them. Except my guy Joey from the local deli down the street. Hey Joey. His vegan farce burger is delicious, and I don't want him to go to jail. The rest of them, though, they can all get hanged. But it gets worse. It gets way worse than just stadiums, diners, and airlines. What if I told you that you, the taxpayer, are paying for millions of people to virtue signal for hours at a time, day in, day out, for years? Wouldn't that make your blood boil? That couldn't possibly happen in the real world, could it? Millions of dollars being spent on people virtue signaling. Millions of your dollars. Think of where that could go. Well, guess what, guys? It is happening. Ever heard of the police? Ever heard of the fire brigade? Ever heard of the hospitals, doctors, or even worse, the military? These people are paid thousands of dollars a year with your taxpayer money to show off about all the good things they do. Well, this petition is in the description as well. Let's just say something has to be done about this horrible virtue signaling that's going on. was outside the other day and I saw a police officer arresting a drunken homeless man. Can you believe that? The amount of virtue signaling going on that arrest was astronomical. It made me sick. It's one thing to pretend to be concerned about the rights of strangers online anonymously, just to a small, uninterested audience of bored, apathetic, anonymous Twitter users, but to actually use sirens to announce your approach and then loudly get out of a car and then arrest a drunk homeless man in front of hundreds of real human beings and getting paid while you're doing it, if that's not virtue signaling, what is? It makes me want to cause physical harm to people, knowing that my hard-earned money is funding these virtue signaling liars. And honestly, if you're thinking they're actually concerned about what they're doing half the time, just they clearly don't care about their jobs most of the time. If you're as concerned about virtue signaling as I am, you will have to sign my petition and demand the public execution of all of these defrauding American traders. Do you think they're really doing what they care about? No. This is all virtue signaling. And then don't get me started on the biggest virtue signalers of all, the armed forces, with their dying for a greater good or living in abject obscurity after fighting a war they didn't necessarily agree on when they signed up. It annoys me to no end, knowing that these people are out there just virtue signaling and showing off about how good they are and all the good stuff they've done. Like, no one does any good thing ever unless they're virtue signaling, and that's why it needs to be banned forever. And everyone that does it needs to be shot out into the sun by a cannon. Now, before I get on to the second thing that annoys me, here's another story I just thought I'd share. I used to work with a man who hated people touching his fat, bald head. Absolutely hated it. Whenever anyone did it, he would turn red and get so annoyed. He said that people who touched his giant bulbous dome would get punched in the face if they did it a second time. And then his boss did it. And then he did it again. And he did it a third time. And then he started to do it every other day. Every day he was at work, his boss would come and slap his porcelain face. And do you know what my buddy at work did? Do you think he punched his boss in the face? No, of course he didn't. This is another problem we're facing in America right now. People aren't sticking to their convictions. If you believe in something, have the conviction and the courage to stick to it. If you think something is wrong, you stick to it. It's wrong. And you shouldn't weasel out of what you believe in just because it doesn't fit your narrative on that given day. And this is a bipartisan issue. I'm not really taking sides on this. If you believe in free speech, then you believe in free speech. It shouldn't only come into effect when it's something you want to say. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't get in the way of someone you disagree with. That's just cowardice. If you believe in punishing famous rapists, you don't get to backpedal when the rapist just so happens to have breasts and have killed one of the greatest chefs and travelers of all time. And, if you believe the government should stay out of your business, you shouldn't also be demanding that they restrict someone else's private business. It's kind of simple. Just have some convictions. Believe in what you say. Stick to what you believe in, and don't be like my fat, bald coworker, the jumped-up little gobshite coward. Anyway, here's the second thing that's really bugging me right now. Can you guess what it is? It's been annoying me for about a year and a half now. Can you guess? I'll give you 3 seconds. And while you try and guess, why don't you hit that like and subscribe and bell buttons like you want to, you dirty, dirty slut. Time up. You guessed? That's right. It's disrespecting the flag. You know who really disrespects the flag the most? Like, constantly disrespects the flag? Cameraman. every single day when I'm watching the game at the bar, just sitting there, not actually standing myself. I have to watch these guys. They're not just not standing for the flag, but most of them have their backs turned to the flag. Too busy yelling and filming or taking photos to actually respect the flag. You know they have Steadicam for that, right, guys? I mean, obviously, if you disagree with athletes kneeling during the anthem, you must be completely disgusted by how these fat slobs are getting paid by large multimedia conglomerates to completely ignore the anthem. At least the athletes are protesting and are actually, facing the flag and trying to show some modicum of respect. But you can't say the same about cameramen, can you? They make me sick. And you know who lets this happen? It's the media, not just one channel, all of the channels. And you gotta believe that they have hundreds of people in booths, and they're all ignoring the flag too while filming sports and lining up commercials. And we somehow have to ignore all of this? I mean, let's stick to our convictions. These are the disgusting traitors. These are the ones. These are the big problem. I think they should all get arrested for being traitors. And you have to agree with me, right? Because this is the stuff you've been saying about the athletes. Because, if kneeling for the flag is wrong, then completely ignoring it for money is out-and-out treachery. And we have enough treachery going on right now. My petition in the description below is calling for a complete ban on these rubes, and then hopefully we'll get them arrested and deported where they belong. And while I was watching this game at the bar, I also noticed that no one in the bar was actually standing for the anthem. They were all busy drinking and hitting on 22-year-olds and talking and loading up songs on the jukebox. And really, I think they should all get arrested too, because they're disrespecting the flag. And that's what this is all about. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. Thanks for listening to me rant for a bit, and I hope you agree with me on all of this. And I'll be back with another video soon, probably about the white race and ethno-states and that kind of thing. I'm sure there's more to touch on both of these topics, so I might make a follow-up to this depending on how the petition goes, but these things need to be brought to the president so he can do something about it. It's the most important thing going on right now. Please, again, hit the like and subscribe and prove that you're a real American like me. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you soon. Yep, that's it for now. So, also, the movie playing in the background is Gamera. Made a couple of modifications. I'm in between homes right now, so I can't exactly use a camera and do that regular setup, but we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of content in the near future, and hopefully it picks up. I think it should. I think I'm the one person that can really fix America, and yeah. Oh, also, buy my book. Thanks to my friends for letting me post clips on their new channel. My name is Murdoc Tooms. Yeah, my book's available on Amazon. It's a bestseller already. It's Rules You're Not Man Enough to Live By. It's just a set of rules I believe every man should live by. I don't really spend a whole lot of time around media, so I didn't really want to start my own channel or anything. They're just going to let me maybe make a video every couple of months. I'm a decorated something or other. I can't really talk about it, but yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, book should be in the description too. Please pick up like 10 copies. It's selling well, but I think the message needs to get out there more and really help make young American men become men again, because a lot of them talk a big talk, but they're not real men by any definition you seek to adhere to. Like if this race war or revolution, any of these things these guys are talking about on both sides, I could kill them all in a matter of seconds with my thumb. So just a bunch of people barking. A lot of wolf tickets, as they say in prison, which I may or may not have been in. Yeah. Anyway, thanks to Minus68 for letting me do this video. Please buy my book, like and subscribe to this stuff. It helps them out too. I'm gonna go back into the woods. I have enough provisions for 2 weeks, and by that time I should be able to fix my cabin. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, thanks for listening, and thanks everyone for having me. Okay, bye.